Ladies, introduce.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I work in chances. Who doesn't love chances? If we do something wrong, we always need a second chance. If we do something right, we always wait a chance of rewarding. Who doesn't love a chance for our dreams to turn into realities? So I would better say, I work on a lifetime chance for us all humans to tear down walls and build up bridges. Whenever I talk about limitations and boundaries, I always remember one of my all-time favorite stories. It's a story of a snake. In the sizzling sunny desert, a man was walking for days already, until suddenly he found the snake. Instead of panicking, the man took the snake out of its hiding place, then drawn a circle around it in the sand. Surprisingly, the snake didn't leave the circle, although only made of sand. Again, the man erased the circle, then the snake went slipping back to the desert. The question is, how often we do that? How often we trap ourselves in our self-drawn circles? How many times we keep away from our dreams with the limitations that only exist in our heads? And how often we build mental walls before physical ones that separate us from each other? As coming from the Middle East, I witnessed revolutions. In fact, one revolution after the other. That made me realize if we really need a change in the way we see each other, then we need a revolution. We need a revolution that we do together, with each one having an equal chance of shaping our world. In fact, understanding is very important. 300 years before the Christ, the Greek philosopher Plato said that there is no law or ordinance is mightier than understanding. So the question is, why understanding is that important? In fact, understanding is so important because as humans, we tend to fear what we don't understand. Back in the history, people feared volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes, because they couldn't understand them. As a journalist myself, I also walked a different path of understanding. I started working 2 years ago on a peace movement called Masterpiece, which made me realize that understanding is very central to peace. Because in more than 30 countries where we work, we find that people who fail to understand each other failed to live peacefully together. So, as the world is getting smaller, it's becoming now relevant more than ever that we understand each other's dreams, hopes, fears, laughs. So, we were very inspired by the Alchemist novel by the Brazilian writer Paulo Coelho. For us, it was magical. How a journey of a shepherd from the heart of Andalusia named Santiago to the Egyptian pyramids could find peace with himself and the people around him. How he could understand the dreams he has, the people he meets, and the omens he encounters. So, if we want peace, then walking is the answer. Because in fact, we never saw people fighting while they walk. So, we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be great if people from everywhere come flocking to the Egyptian pyramids, bringing the Alchemist Alive? And personally, I'm always passionate about journeys of understanding. And one of my favorite stories is the story of Hypatia, who existed in the 4th century, because she literally defended our right to reach out and understand with her life. And what's better than traveling to understand? So, here's the plan, guys. The destination going to be the Egyptian pyramids. The route is anywhere that takes you there. Mission is doing it as green, as eye-catching, and as heartwarming as possible. So the second step is finding the crazy few. For any movement, It's very important to find the crazy few who would just do it. For us, we needed also to find the brave, little bit nuts, early alchemists. And I think by now you have guessed our first nationality, the travel-loving nation, nomadic by birth, my favorite, the Dutchies. Our first alchemist traveler is Wijnand Boon. He's walking from his hometown of Leiden, Netherlands, all the way to the Egyptian pyramids for more than 7,000 miles. That equals 1/3 of the distance between Earth and Moon. He's walking on a zero budget with only a guitar and an iPhone. A guitar to entertain his hosts and an iPhone to connect with people through social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, to find hosts where he can stay with them. Wijnand stayed with more than 250 families until now, and if you're asking where is Wijnand now, he is somewhere in Italy. If you think that it worked only for Wijnand, then please think again. Because look, here's another guy who was very inspired by the journey. Ken from Portugal. He started walking from Portugal all the way to Egypt with a dream in his heart and 2 petitions in his hands. One to give to the Palestinian side, arguing them to stop using violence, and another one to the Israeli side, arguing them to stop building settlements. He's collecting signatures on this petition by people he meets in the street. We need your signature on that too. As an Arab woman, I always believe in my ancient proverb, which says, if something happened once, it might never happen again. But if it happened the second time, then for sure it will happen a third time. And that's what exactly happened to us. People from everywhere loved the idea. They started doing the journey themselves. People from Egypt, UK, Germany, Netherlands, they started doing the same journey. Because people are always fascinated with the stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So here, I invite you to take this out together, that we all be alchemists in our everyday life, that we cross bridges and break free circles unlike snakes. And after this TEDx talk, let's have a TEDx walk and connect with someone new that we don't know or learn something new about someone that we know. Thank you.